Good morning, friends. Welcome to GoOnlineTrainings.com. We've spoken about various operators in DAX language. And today, let us talk about some more DAX functions. So, DAX is going to be containing various functions. One of the function is called as one of the functions is logical functions that we're going to be discussing today. Apart from that, we have a lot of other functions are available: text and string functions, date and time functions, mathematical functions, statistical functions, and iterating functions, filter functions, and time intelligence functions. These are functions not very complex. These are pretty much easy. Anyone can use these functions and they will be able to write the complex code with the help of these functions. So let us understand what are the logical functions today. And when you see the text or string functions or date and time functions or the mathematical functions, these are similar to your SQL functions only. There is no difference between string function, the SQL functions or the DAX functions over there, right? So that is what you need to understand. So one of the functions today we'll discuss is logical functions. Okay. Sweta is asking, do we use stored procs in Power BI? We're going to be using stored procs queries, everything we are going to be using. So we have a Power BI data set creation. In that, we'll be discussing how to use stored procs, how to use views, how to use functions, how to use tables, all of them we're going to be discussing along with the SQL Server Shweta. Okay, you need to wait. Sure. So we have a separate session called how to create a complex data set with the SQL objects. SQL means you may have a table, you may have a view, store procedure, function, right? So whatever you have in SQL Server, so any one of these objects can be used to create a complex data sets. Clear? So in that topic, we'll be discussing how to use stored procs, how to use functions from the SQL. All these things will be discussed, and you will also create lot of data sets. Amit is asking only if and else conditions use or other conditions also, like when, while. So when is nothing but if only, right, Amit? So if you learn any C, C++ language, there is no when and there. Only we're going to be using if or nested if or if and else. So that is also we're going to be discussing today. Okay. So now today, let us talk about logical functions. So what are the logical functions? Let us see. So these are the logical functions. If and else, nested if, is blank, and, or, true, false, switch, if error. So these functions are called as logical functions. Now, already we have been using if and else. And today, let us talk about that. So display weekday sales versus weekend sales. This is what is one of the requirement. So I wanted to open Power BI. Now, if I open Power BI, the reporting requirement display weekday versus weekend sales. So let me just open the data, show it to you. I wanted to take Adventure Works data now, and there is a sales is going to be happening in this company. I have a customer table, products table, sales table, and we also talk about a dim date table. Where exactly we're going to be using dim date table, we'll understand today. Now, I wanted to have customer products and sales table, load the data. I'm just loading this data. Now you see the data modeling first, whether all the tables are linked or not linked. And if they're linked, how they are linked. It is customer to sales table. One customer can buy a lot of sales, right? A lot of sales can happen to one customer, right? So customer to sales will be one to many, and one product can be sold to many customers. or you have one, 1-to-M relationship here. So I have customer table and I have a products table. I have a sales table over there. So in the sales table, I have order date. So there is a lot of dates are available, but one of the column is called order date, due date, and ship date, customer key, currency key. Lot of things are available. So using the order date, I wanted to know whether the sales is happened in the weekday or weekend. Weekday means what? Weekday means Monday to Friday. Weekend means Saturday and Sunday. I wanted to know whatever be the sales is happened, if it is happened on the Saturday or Sunday. This is what is called weekend sales in India. So weekday means Monday to Friday. But if you go to Middle East country, what is the weekend there? Weekend is not Saturday and Sunday. Weekend will be Friday and Saturday. Okay, Friday to Saturday. Their weekday starts from Sunday, Sunday to Thursday, like that. So you cannot decide weekdays, weekends on your own. It depends upon the country to country, business to business. When I worked with Dubai client, so Dubai client, we used to create a lot of weekends like this. We used to create a lot of reports. There is a mall in Dubai. They wanted to have the sales. So what is it they wanted to have the sales? They will ask me, hey Bhaskar, you create a report, and in the report you clearly tell me whether weekend sales is more, weekday sales is more. Or they will ask me whether holiday sales is holidays means any holidays you will get, right? Holiday sales versus and weekday versus and the weekend. Or they'll ask me Ramadan sales. Okay. Can you tell me last 5 years Ramadan sales? I need to verify whether this date comes under Ramadan or not. Clear? Whether this is comes under Ramadan or not. Whether this is comes under Christmas or not. So people will ask you last 5 years Ramadan sales or last 5 years, Christmas sales. Or they will give you data like this last 5 years Diwali sales. Clear? So that is how you will be able to ask in the interviews. They will give you simply order date. There is no Diwali, there is no nothing is available here, but still you should be able to say weekday versus weekend sales, holiday versus weekday sales and weekend sales. For example, tomorrow there is a new year in South India, right? We celebrate Ugadi. So guys, tomorrow we don't have class, there is a festival. So we celebrate that, but still the shops are open tomorrow, right? So tomorrow lot of sales is going to be happening in the shops. Now, the customer wanted to know what is the last 5 years Ugadi sales in South India. So that is what they wanted to have it. But there is no way that we are, capturing the whether it is Ugadi sales, whether it is a Christmas sales, whether it is a Diwali sales, all the data, it is not available in this table, right? When you go to this table, nowhere it is mentioned it is a Ramzan day, it is a Christmas day, it is a Diwali day, or it is a Dasara day, but these are compulsorily, asked in the interview. How do you get this kind of a requirement in your reporting? So the AdventureWorks as company has given this data only. They will give you order date column. They don't give you anything else. Using this, they'll ask you a lot of questions. I wanted to have last 5 years Christmas sales in AdventureWorks, or I wanted to know Thanksgiving Day, sales. I wanted to know versus remaining days sales, or I wanted to know weekend sales, weekday sales, or holiday sales, blah, blah, blah. All the interviewers are going to be asking all these questions. We will be discussing one by one in the DAX, functions only. All these are very, very important. We have to know how to deal with that. Okay, now I wanted to take this now today. I wanted to know display weekday sales versus weekend sales. Okay, let me write a couple of requirements. Last display last 5 years. Okay, Ramadan sales. Okay, so all these things are common questions asked. Last 5 years, let us say Christmas sales. So they will give you only this kind of a data. Display last 3 years or last year Diwali sales, right? So they will tell you display last 5 years Dashera sales. So like that. Or in South India, when you go in for any sales, they'll say the sales is on the Kartikam. They don't say Kartikam sales is on, or Magham sales is on, like that. They're going to be using Indian month names. Clear? They'll have Chaitram sales, Magham sales is on. So they don't tell you the sales happen in January, the sales happen in February. They'll say Kartikam sales, Magam sales is on, like that. So depends upon that. Ashadam sales is on in all South India shopping malls. So now they wanted to understand a report. What is the last 5 years Ashadam sales? So that is how the report will be asked. But in the sales data, they never mention whether it is Ashadam, whether it is a Magham. They never mention. They will simply able to have a order date or the sales date column will be there. But we have to create a separate DAX queries or some other queries to implement all these things. Then only you will be able to fulfill this kind of a requirement. So today let us talk about how to use how to get the weekday and weekend. So first of all, I need to go and verify. So weekday means what? Monday, Thursday. I need to derive the name of the day. So how to derive? You need to create a new column, right? So click on this, create a new column, right? So in the new column, you need to verify the name of the day. So day name. So order day name. So how to use it? This is a function here I'm going to be using. So format function. So all these functions we'll be discussing later. So I'm going to be using order date, and I wanted to use the day name. I want to have it. So press enter. So this function I will discuss later. Automatically, you are able to get it is Wednesday, it is a Thursday. So if it is Wednesday, Thursday, that means what it is weekday, Saturday, Sunday, it is weekend, right? So you need to create one column. So one column I have created. The column name is called order day. So using this order date, it is going to be deriving whether it is a Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Clear? So that is what it is done. But now I want to create one more column, whether it is a weekday or weekend. So I would like to just go there. So it is a day type. What kind of a day it is? So if the conditions, what is the condition? If the order day name, okay, name is equivalent to either Saturday, because you have only 3 letters, Saturday, or means like this, and Sunday. Either this Saturday or Sunday, either this or that. So then it will be called as what? Weekend. So you say this is weekend, else it is weekday. Okay, else it is weekday. So now press enter. Now you need to derive one DAX. So this is what we got it. And next one we have created weekday. When you say weekend, you will be able to get purely what? Saturday and Sunday. Have you seen this? Now totally 17,005, 54 rows are, satisfying this condition. Now I wanted to remove this and take this. Now I wanted to create a report. Now in the report, what is the, this one, weekday versus weekend sales, right? Now let me go there, and they will tell you which one to use. So you may use any chart. They'll clearly tell you. So I wanted to have day type, right? So where is the day type is available? So drag and drop day type and sales amount. Drag and drop the sales amount. Now you will be able to display the data like this, right? Now you go and have the data labels. Now you tell me which one is, where the sales is more. Weekday sales is more or weekend sales is more. You will be able to, have, and if you wanted to create, you can also have the slicer. Let me just go there, click on the slicer. Sorry. I wanted to click on the slicer. In the slicer, you will be able to have your month or year. So you just go and drag and drop the order date. Where is the order date? Order date is here. So when you open this, you will be able to get the year number. Now here, so I wanted to just check. Let me have some drop down, not drop down. Let me have some list, vertical list, something like this. Okay. Now I wanted to have, I will, explain all these things. When should I use, how to use these properties and everything we'll discuss later. But as of now, I will tell you in 2005, which one is more, weekday sales is 2.4 million, right? So in the next year, it is 4.7, so weekday sales is more. In 2007, again, weekday sales is more, and weekday sales is more, like that. So if you remove this, so it will be weekday sales is 21 million, weekend sales is 8 million. So like that, you will be able to create a lot of other, things. Now in this, I have used if condition. So within the if condition, I'm able to write whether it is Saturday or Sunday. If it is Saturday and Sunday, so it'll be taken as a this one, else it is weekday. Like that, you should be able to achieve. So remaining things also we'll discuss in the further classes. Okay, so now I have used the format. This function also I'm going to be discussing as part of your date and time functions. Okay. Now, if condition, if some condition is true, we are going to be displaying this kind of a data. Now, I wanted to use nested if. Nested if means one if within one more. For example, if the salary is lesser than 10,000, then it is low. If the salary is greater than 5,000, it is high. But in between, it is medium. So you need to write three conditions. Okay. If the salary is lesser than 10,000, then the salary is low. If the greater than 5,000, salary is high. Okay. Now in this, you have two conditions, but I wanted to implement else in between means if it is rather than these two conditions, if you have this, that will be medium. So how to write this kind of a conditions with the help of a nested ifs? Writing nested ifs will be very, very, complicated, but we will be able to write like this. Okay. So you need to write employee type. So if the employee salary is lesser than 10,000, then it is low. Okay. This is one condition. So else it is high. Else it is high means you need not verify anything. But we have two more conditions to specify. In that, again, you're going to be writing one more condition. What is the condition here? If the salary is a greater than or equals to this. If this condition is a true, if this condition is a true, this one will get executed. This one will get executed. Okay. If the condition is a true, this one will get executed. A salary, let us say 5,000. Okay. B salary, let us say 11,000. Okay. Or 71,000, like that. Let me have C salary is 21,000. D salary, let us say 15,000, like that. I have some data. Okay. Now, if the employee salary is lesser than 10,000, so this condition is true because it is less than 10,000. So immediately it will be shown as a low. It will be displaying as a low. That's fine. Okay. Now, so let us verify for this. So it will go there and verify, is it lesser than 10,000? The answer is no. If the answer is no, so this is the false block. It is going to be, if the condition is true, this will get executed, right? If the condition is false, this one will get executed. But in this, again, there is a condition. There is a condition. So it is going to be verifying if the salary is greater than 50,000. Yes, this is a true. If the greater than 50,000, if this is a true, this will get executed. So this will get executed because it is 71,000. Now it is high. You will be able to get high. Okay. Now second one is called high. The third one, let me verify. So Is this lesser than 10,000? The answer is no. So this is a false condition. False condition means this block will get executed. In this block, it is going to be asking, is it greater than 50,000? It is not greater than 50,000. It is a false condition. False condition means this is going to be executed. So it is medium. Like that, you will be able to get multiple conditions with the help of nested ifs. You need to write one condition, and if this is true, this is going to work. Within that, you need to write one more condition. This is what is called nested ifs. Nested ifs are very, very complex. You can have one if within one more if, that is fine. But if you have multiple, for example, if the you may write multiple conditions. How many conditions? This is one condition. Low, high, medium. You have only three conditions. Three condition means two nested ifs will come. Two nested ifs, because you have three conditions, right? So two nested ifs. But if you wanted to write 10 conditions, so 9 nested ifs you need to write. It is very, very complicated process, and writing this will be very, very complex, very, very complex. So in this case, we don't use the nested ifs. So 3 is fine. 2 means if and else, and 3 means nested ifs. If you keep on implementing 4, 5, 6, 7 means it will become very, very complicated. You should not use nested if. That is when we are going to be using switch case. Okay, switch case is replacement for the nested ifs. Okay, so if else, it is very, very easy, but you can write one more, nested if, that is fine. But more than that, you will go mad. So to overcome that, so Microsoft is giving, or DAX is giving, switch case. We'll talk about all of them in the later classes. In this, so you can implement this. Let me just take, okay, I wanted to create a new column. So you can write whatever it is. If the sales, okay, sales type I wanted to have. So what is the condition? The condition is if the sales amount, right? So if the sales amount is lesser than 100, something like that, or lesser than 100, I will be telling it is low, right? If, open the bracket, sales amount, okay, sales amount lesser than 100, it is greater than let us say 5,000, it is high, it is high, else it is medium, something like that. So something like that I wanted to write it. Okay, now you will be able to find out. So low and medium, you don't have any opportunity. Yeah, you will be able to see high, low, medium values. Now you can see low is greater than, lesser than this. The sales amount is lesser than 100, that is 24.99, blah blah blah. Okay, the second condition is greater than 500. This is greater than 500. Now else in between, if you have any other value, that will be medium, like that. Okay, that will be medium. Like that, you will be able to write multiple conditions. Is it like writing case statement? Yes, case statement is equivalent to if condition only, right? Case statement is equivalent to if. So in SQL, we will be calling as a case statement. In C programming or .NET, we are going to be calling the same thing as if statement. Clear? Yeah. So that is how. So don't write multiple nested ifs. It will be a very complex process. Other developers will not be able to understand. The better you can use a switch condition. And tomorrow we don't have class. Happy New Year, guys. Happy Ugadi. And day after tomorrow, when we meet, we'll talk about how to use switch, instead of multiple nested ifs. This is what we're going to be discussing later. Here, I wanted to write multiple conditions. If the month number equals to 1, then say January, month number 2 equals to this one, then February, like that. I wanted to implement a lot of things, and whatever we discussed. So the same thing is also can be written with the help of a switch. Employer salary lesser than this, blah, blah. Okay. So you will be able to easily write this. So instead of a nested if and else, we can go in for a switch. So tomorrow we don't have class. The go after that we'll discuss. So any other questions you have, guys? And a lot of other things also we will be able to discuss. So we have completed if and this one only, right? So then we will also discuss about this, and nested also we discussed, right? So remaining things is blank and or true, false, all these things also we'll discuss in the Monday's class. Okay. So one SQL question you're asking, let me just. So what is the question you're asking? List the branch wise, product wise total amount as on last Friday. How can we get last Friday? How do we get the current Friday? So this is the question, right? List the branch wise. Okay, so select branch wise means you need to have the branch wise, product wise total amount. So it could be some transactional amount, right? So I'll say sum of transaction amount, okay, as total amount, right, from the transaction master table, right? So group by whatever you have apart from this has to be there in the group by clause, right? Group by. Now, I need current Friday. How do you get the current Friday? Current Friday means where we have to use date, diff, date diff. So WW will give you this one, and transaction date, comma, get date, right? Transaction date is the column, comma, get date. So is equivalent to 0. What is the meaning? This will give you get date minus transaction date. If you're getting zero difference means it is a current week. Clear? So current week, in the current week, what is it I would like to get? I would like to get date name. There is a function called, right? So in that you need to get DD, I think DD or something, I don't remember that exactly. Then you need to supply this DOT. So you need to say Friday. So this will give you current Friday data, but last Friday data means you need to give 1 year. So this will give you last Friday. It will go to the last week. Last week data will be fetched. And after that end, you need to get the Friday data. This is how you should be able to write. Is it clear? Chalo. So how to go to current month, previous month, last month Fridays. Last month Fridays means you have to go last month. Last month will have a lot of Fridays. All Fridays date, all Friday sales will be given. Okay. How do you get last year sales? The same thing. So in the SQL, we are going to be using current year data means is this, or last year data means this. Okay, you need to verify like that. So how do you get last month, last day, last week? So only you need to use and keep on changing these values. Okay, so that is what. Chalo. How the execution is going to be happening? So first it is going to be filtering this data. Remember, so which will get executed first. First from clause will get executed, right? It will go to this table and it will filter the data. So after filtering the data, it is going to be grouping by this first column. So within that, grouping by second column is going to be happening. After that, summing is going to be happening. After that, display is going to be happening. Like that, you have to know clearly, okay, how the execution is going to be happening by the SQL server, right? So all these things been explained clearly in my SQL queries. You just understand when to use group by clause, when to use where clause, all these functions clearly explained in my SQL classes. People who do not know, at least basics queries you have to know clearly, because 80% of the time you don't get the data from Excel, right? So you will be able to get the data using SQL. So as Shweta asked now, so we are going to be using most of the time store procedures and everything. So we'll implement data sets creation using that only. Okay. Can we register PBA project, sir? Yeah, you can Jeevan, you can Jeevan Jyoti, you can register for the Power BI project. The classes are going on. Just call these numbers, right? Call these numbers and you should be able to register yourself. Chalo guys, or you can also get the videos in practice, however you would like to have it. Chalo guys, any other questions?